You might not think a book is worth restoring, but you'd be wrong, as the process is very satisfying. Join us as we witness the incredible process of creating and restoring a very old textbook. Our artisan welcomes a very old book into their workshop. Today's piece is a snippet of history, an old textbook, a treasure waiting to be reborn. Once the book is inspected, careful dismantlement and superficial cleaning of the sections can begin. This includes very gently smoothing out the old pages and leaving them under weights for some time, as well as the removing of the old rotting sewing thread and residue of the old glue. In this case, the sections comprising the text block were sewn using the overcast method by the original bookbinder. Every step is meticulously planned, with a focus on using archival quality materials and ensuring every intervention is reversible, preserving the text block's authenticity. Every stitch tells a story. The spines of each section are reinforced in a reversible fashion with thin strips of conservation quality Italian paper using starch-based paste, a traditional glue with a history stretching back well over 1,900 years. Glue now cured, holes are pierced with a fine awl, and the sections are sewn on a traditional frame using archival Irish linen thread, ensuring the pages align perfectly. The text block undergoes a gentle transformation known as rounding and backing, coaxing it back into its original shape, ensuring it opens gracefully and stands strong. It may seem an aggressive process using this press, though our artisan is carrying this procedure out delicately. Layers of fabric, paper, and leather are meticulously glued onto the spine, bringing the text block to life. Now removed from the press, archival millboard covers can be added. Additional sections are added to protect the original and vulnerable front and back pages from the stresses of binding, chosen for their aesthetic compatibility with the aged pages. Here, Italian laid cartridge paper is used. A traditional bone folder is used to fold the paper. Attractive, hand-marbled end papers are folded and glued into the front and back of these new sections and left, under weights, for several days to dry. Throughout the process, white, modern paper impregnated with silicone is used wherever moisture is present. This is done to avoid any moisture from migrating into the old text block. Leather for the book is chosen with great care, from peat brown Oasis goat skin for the spine to vegetable and calf skin for the main cover, cut and pared with precision. It is cut by hand and also by an edge paring machine. With the shape locked in, the book begins its transformation into a split-board, multi-section, library-style full leather binding, guided by our artisan's expertise. The boards are sculpted with a Stanley knife, and the spine lining is cut in anticipation of the leather turn-in. The prepared strips of brown goat leather are then stuck onto the edges of the boards, and the faux hemp cords cut to size and glued onto the spine and caps, enhancing the book's visual appeal. The spine leather is glued and molded to the book's shape using hands, a Teflon bone folder, and band nippers. It's then carefully pressed, preventing any moisture from disturbing the text block, by using the silicone-impregnated release paper. The waste sheets are then stuck down onto the inside covers and, after the waste sheets have dried, the marbled end papers can then be stuck down and cut to size. Finally, the binder's mark is put onto the base of the spine of the book. The exterior of the book was treated in various oils, colors, and waxes, polished and distressed so that it meets the desired look. What an intriguing and fascinating process. Truly interesting. And there we have it, a revived piece of academic history. Incredible. This restoration is complete.